Yes, I've got to do some ministering here at this church. Got to work with the youth for a little while. Had a great time doing that, seeing some familiar faces and being able to hug some necks that I have enjoyed hugging at from time to time. I remember one of the first things I remembered in this church was the pastor, Wes McAfee, was saying to make sure you go around and shake each other's hands and hug each other's neck and do not get the two mixed up. There you go. Let us sit in a second. So I use it all the time whenever I'm working with the students and everything. I have been hired to be an associate pastor up at Baker Creek Community Church. That is in McMinnville, Oregon. I've been there now since October 16th, just started. Enjoying it. I love the fact that I don't have to worry about going to the secular job while I'm trying to work with the people. And then while I'm at church, having to worry about going to work. When I'm at work, having to worry about wishing I could be at church. So it's been a great joy to be able to just spend all of my time working with the people that I love, which is just God's people. Our goal of the church is to love God and to love people. One of the things that we just got through doing was it's not everybody is able to have that joyous season of Christmas because they don't have their loved ones with them. So we were able to come alongside and be able to just love on those families because not everybody is able to have a good time during Christmas season. One of the things that we shared was, one of the things that I shared, was throughout the week on Saturday nights, I got to go to the laundromat because I got to do my own laundry. And so $2.65 for a load. It's only 60 cents for 15 minutes for drying. And I'd buy a 4-for-4 meal and I'd eat while I'm doing my own laundry. And I'd go ahead and share my meal because there's people there that I would see every Saturday night. And it's also one of the places that the homeless will go once it closes because they can get in out of the rain and they can go ahead and dry their clothes. So go ahead and just punch in the card and give them a little bit more extra time of drying whenever their back is turned. And they're like, oh, I thought my time was up. And you could see them just light up saying, wow, it's not done yet. Doing it for the purpose of being able to just speak into their lives. One young man I was able to visit with for 3 different weeks, and I was sharing with him where I go to church and what I do, and he's like, oh wow, that's where my grandma goes. And I said, oh really? I said, what is your grandma's name? She's actually the secretary of the church. He's one of the homeless people that I'd been talking to, and it was awesome to be able to share with her what I'd been talking to him about. So that challenge that I gave to the congregation was saying that even the little thing of 60 cents of drying somebody's clothes can go a long ways. So throughout the week of the Christmas season, you should go ahead and be looking for those things to be able to give a blessing, even if it's just something minute as 60 cents. It doesn't take much. Loving God and loving people. That's exactly what it is that we want to be doing. We did sit down, Pastor Dax, he's the senior pastor there, and we hashed out a few things, and one of the visions of the church is to be able to raise up the young men that want to become pastors, and then whenever we feel that they're ready, to actually send them with some of the congregation to basically do a replant, to help revive a church that is dying. And the Spanish congregation that is there has already been able to do that one time already. So that's something that they're already doing. But since I was able to show up, the college that my wife and I, Pastor Dax and his wife, graduated from, we were able to get that implemented, and we're actually start our first class on January 15th to do an accredited college through the church and make it to where the young men have that opportunity to get some accreditation and actually some training in ministry in itself. And it's not just for men, it's also for the families in itself. The ladies want to as well, they can. And I think that's pretty awesome to be able to give that learning And that's one of our most exciting things that we've been doing the last couple months, because like I said, I've only been there since October, and really looking forward to having my family there. As you guys know, as ministers, if your family's not there, it's not as fun. You don't feel like your ministry team is complete. So be praying for us, because my daughter won't be coming. Sorry. So I feel like my team won't ever be complete because of that. She's going to be staying here, going to school, and she feels a big void. And I know that void's going to be felt when she's gone. When she's not there, I mean. I do look forward to the time that she does come up in May, hopefully. Did you hear that? In May? She is staying here. Going to church here as well. So as you guys continue to just come around here, love on her, please, while we won't be here. I don't know all of the faces in the audience, but I do know Denise over here as well. I got to give her a hug this morning, and I know sometimes holidays ain't fun, but you have a family here. Because not only is our church in McMinnville saying love God and love people, this church loves people as well, and they love God, and they're going to love you just the same. Allow them to do it, okay? One of the other things that I've been able to implement is the men's ministry, the vision casting that was sent forth, and then also with the youth ministry, and then the children's ministry as well. Was able to come together with that and present that forward with the leadership, and then also asking the people that to be a part of each of those ministries, making it to where we move forward and being able to love God more and love people even more as well. So that's awesome to be a part of that. To be able to speak to a young man that wanted to take his life, and now he's living for God and wanting to do everything that he can, and knowing that his life does make a difference. So even if it was to just for the one thing, I know that God has us there for a reason. A family that was getting ready to be divorced because both sides of the man and the woman had affairs. It's not fun having to deal with those things, but that's what God has called us to do, and I've loved every minute of it, because I'm not having to worry about spending that time in that secular job. And that's not speaking ill of secular jobs at all, because God had me doing that for 22 years, and now that he's taken the cancer out of my life, I know that he's given me the opportunity to do that full time, and that's what I'm loving doing, is spending my time full in the ministry and being able to love on people. That couple went through counseling just 2 weeks ago. They weren't supposed to be able to go until end of January, and God worked it out to where they were able to go, and you could see the love that they have for each other again, and that the marriage has been saved. We can go ahead and continue on and on and on about what God does. But if it's not for us giving him the glory, as the song was sharing earlier, that it's all for naught. Because whenever we step into the ministry and we say it's ours, that's when it's going to start falling. And we need to make sure that we lift up our ministers. Make sure that we continue to come around them and love on them as well, especially in this time of the year. I love you guys, and I thank you so much for when we came back, that you guys sent us off with love and in prayers. We also have one other person that's getting ready to join our team that basically he's wanting to start a church. And the church that he was a part of, basically like right here, if I was to say I wanted to start a church and I told you guys and you went like this to me and kicked me out and said, no way, you need to stay right here. And that's what they did to this young man. He's hurting. But we're able to come alongside and share God's love with him, because it's not a competition between churches. It's a competition to get them to heaven, where we need to make sure we're taking each and every person. So this week, I know the Christmas day is over today, but that doesn't mean that the season is over. So please, be looking for the people that need the hug. Be looking for the people that we need to be loving on, because God's the one that's going to open our eyes for that exact purpose. Thank you guys for allowing me to come up and just give a little bit of a testimony. And I love you guys. Thank you for sending our family off with prayers and allowing us to be a part of your family as well. Thank you guys.